Hey guys, it's me Jacqueline. For today's video I have a spoiler-free review for Teen Frankenstein by Chandler Baker. I was sent this book by Megan over at Coborn Communications, so thank you so much Megan for sending this book my way. I'm going to be talking all about it, so let's get started. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit sick, so if it sounds at some time my voice is changing, it's just because my throat is the part that does hurt. Teen Frankenstein is the first book in a new series. It is called the High School Horror series, and each book is actually going to be following different characters, but all of the characters actually are from the same high school. The high school itself is set in Texas, but in this book we follow the main character named Victoria, or Tor Frankenstein. One night Tor is driving and she accidentally hits someone with her car and then kills him. But since she is a scientific genius, she somehow figures out how to bring him back to life. Teen Frankenstein is Frankenstein, the original tale, reimagined. This is more of a YA approach, and I would say this is fantasy sci-fi. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Now, it did take me about a week to read this book, not because I wasn't enjoying it, but because I was super busy with school and then I got sick, so pretty much I had no free time. But whenever I did have free time, I was reading this book because I was just so immersed into the story. I really enjoyed these characters. Tor is our female main protagonist, and I absolutely loved her. She was incredibly unique for me. I really enjoyed her interactions and her mindset. I love seeing her as the story progressed. Her dry sense of humor just kills me, and also I think the fact that she was a scientific genius and how she kind of handled different elements because of that, different situations because of that, was amazing to read about. Also, I love the fact that at the beginning of each chapter, Chandler Baker added a little section of Tor's scientific journals. I love the fact we got to see this detail, and I felt we got to really understand and really get into the mindset of this book more. With the side characters, or the other characters I should say, like Adam and Owen and everything like that, I really loved how everything was placed. In general, these characters were great. Even though I haven't read the original Frankenstein tale, I've seen movie adaptations, and I think that Chandler Baker did a great job at taking the whole Frankenstein original story and twisting it and making it her own. Like I mentioned, this is the first book in a new series, and each book in the series is going to be a different original tale reimagined. So there's going to be a Phantom of the Opera reimagined and Jekyll and Hyde reimagined. I'm just so excited to see those other books and how they are going to factor in those characters, because like I mentioned in the beginning, all the characters in this series are from the same high school, so that's going to be so cool to see how everything connects. Another thing I have to talk about is the writing and the plotting. I really thought that this was such a fast-paced book. Even though I didn't have a lot of time to read this book, every time I got the time to read it, I was immediately immersed into it, and anytime I wasn't reading this book, I was constantly thinking about what was going to happen next. There was a lot of different plot twists and different turns, and I really liked the way everything was set up and handled. Now, I did have 2 cons, which kind of made me not give this a 5 out of 5 stars, and that's why I gave it more of a 4 out of 5 stars. Number 1 for me was the high school cliches. I just have a problem with that in any book. It wasn't this book specifically, but high school cliches kind of just annoy me in general because I think they're so unrealistic. Then the second and final con I had for this book was the ending. I thought the ending sort of lacked. I wanted a little bit more from it, and because of that, that was actually a huge con for me. This is such a random thought, but I did want to mention this. I absolutely love this cover because it has a lightning bolt, which kind of is something symbolic for Frankenstein, and then it has stitches in the lightning bolt, and then it actually creates a face. I realized this when I was mid-reading it. I turned and I looked at the cover, and then I was like, oh my god, that's a face. Like, that's a nose, this is the mouth, that's the eye, and then when you open the book up, you have 2 eyes right here. I really like that feature. Overall, if you're interested in a Frankenstein story revamped and reimagined, I would highly, highly recommend this book. It was so much fun to read. Like I said, I really enjoyed these characters, I enjoyed the plotting, and overall it is such a great book to pick up. I would actually recommend picking this up in like October time, you know, that Halloween season, since it's more of a horror classical thing reimagined, and it would be a lot of fun. I know whenever the other book in this series comes out, I will definitely be picking that up. So that is it for my review, guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of my review, and or if you picked this book up, what you thought of it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!